Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Nomad Idle. It is it's an idle adventure RPG. I'm not entirely sure. We'll dive in and see how it goes. But it's made by the Foxnox, the developer behind Nomad Survival. And so they made Nomad Survival, then they made just kind of like an interesting co-op roguelike that used bullet heaven logic. And now they're making an incremental game, so I'm actually quite curious to see where this goes. At first I was like, hey, they just, I recognize this character model, I wonder where they got it from. It's like, of course, they got it from Nomad Survival, duh. Anyway, let's start game. Might be a little low res at the moment, at least it is for me, because it is a tiny window on my screen. You cannot set it to full screen until you've actually gotten the game. So now it is time for this random man to kill the shit out of like a billion squirrels. Okay, wait, can I, like, aim these? Oh, I can. That's interesting. So we've got a couple of abilities. Cursor cutter, attack an area with cursor position. So I can actually... Oh, so I can just, like, slash in an area. It costs 1 MP. And then I can do, like, a big AoE there and really delete things in that distance. So we also have some stat points that I can invest. So max mana, mana regen. I don't know, let's just be a weird wizard and let's see how this goes. The faster my mana regen, the more abilities I can just huck around, which seems practical. Now, do we actually... Oh yeah, I am actually taking some damage here, so that might be something to consider later on. Is, what can I invest into to safeguard this lad? Okay, so what else do we have? More stat points? Looks like we can also... increase or decrease. Okay. Damage over time, potency. Oh, I've been slain. Soul is left to linger for 5 more seconds. Make sure you're distributing your stat points. And in your place, another stands tall. Is it the same guy? This is available stat points 3, so yeah, it's just the same dude. I'm just gonna really push my mana regen. Might not be a bad idea to push some other abilities too. But I like being able to potentially just use my spells constantly. I'll have to see what the damage calculation on some of these are. Mana cost, there's cooldown, damage 1. Damage 12, damage 1 again. Because yeah, I wonder if I can specifically scale up the damage on the cursor click. I like the fact that the clicking is based off of like a mana level, so you can't just run around with an auto clicker. It's a lot more judicious. It feels good. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep investing hard into mana and we'll just see what I can do with it. Ooh, what is this? A bunch of wood. Okay, mana per second, souls per second, form of currency. Okay. Get another stat point. More wizard. Or... More wisdom. Okay, didn't have enough mana. Yeah, it's a little tricky keeping this guy alive. But I figure if I can just turbo nuke things constantly with super sword swing, it'll give me what I need. Worst comes to worst, I just get a bunch of levels. New event is available. New event. Better equipped. I think I died. I hope I didn't break the game with this. I think I might have. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up where we left off. I've switched over to the Steam branch of this game, which does not freeze. I think we died, new character, but we still have crazy mana. The one problem with the mana is it makes the game, well, is it a problem? It makes the game very active. So what else do we have? Oh, I can't invest in Interspirit for some reason. Maybe they're just not in the game. So this gets me health regeneration multiplier, summon critical damage. Oh, movement and evasion, cooldown reduction, projectile speed, damage over time. Okay, damage excluding damage over time and summons. I don't know. I think we just keep becoming an wizard. Maybe I'll put 1 damage in just for the sake of it. But I think I'm going to try and go for the 30 mana first. Being able to just chuck stuff. Okay, so we have a new event, Better Equipped. You stumble upon a small, quiet campsite in a forest clearing. A lone tent stands by an unlit campfire. The blood that spatters the earth tells a story of violent confrontation. The grim scene suggests that whoever was here didn't have time to finish setting the place before being attacked. Among the crimson-stained foliage lies a damaged sword and a battered leather tunic. Relics of a final stand. Reluctantly, you decide it would be best to take these belongings for your own. Grab the items. In this moment, a realization strikes. You've been dispatching numerous foes, always moving on, always leaving behind the spoils of victory. Those materials would be essential for crafting. With the right materials, it would be possible to repair and improve the efficacy of the sword and tunic. With this thought, you put on the leather tunic and grab the sword. It's morbid, but you feel a connection to the anonymous soul who fought here. The weight of the blade is reassuring. However damaged it may be, it will be critical in your survival. With a heavy heart and a renewed purpose, you stand tall, ready to face the unknown. A necessary confidence in order to prevail against a land god mad. Enemies now have a chance to drop materials used for crafting. Inventory equipped craft buttons have been unlocked. Cool. Okay, so we have more events to encounter. Okay, more stat points into wisdom. As silly as it sounds, I can just safeguard myself by just throwing up a sword shield. Okay. So, I might as well mention, because I kind of glossed over it earlier, I was playing the itch.io demo prior to this, and now I've switched over to the Steam playtest. So if you do want to play this yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. Yeah, I'm kind of low on HP, so I'm trying to... judiciously defend myself with sword. There we go. Considering I'm going to die fairly soon. There we go. Okay. Check your equipment might be upgradable in the stat menu. Probably. I'm going to give myself a little bit of vitality just so don't have to worry too much. Okay, so leather tunic can be upgraded. So what does the leather tunic give me? Max health, defense, max health multiplier. Okay, life after death. You remember dying several times, each moment of death seared vividly into your memory. Each death felt final, yet here you stand alive and whole. Your mind screams that you've defied fate, but the eerie reality leaves you trembling, searching for answers in a world that suddenly feels more sinister and inexplicable. Why are you still here? How are you still here? Are you still here? Panic. Panic quickens as the questions layer on top of each other. Are you chosen for a higher calling? Does this mean you're immortal? Wait, is this the way for everyone, for everything? Is this normal? The thought leaves you anxious. What if the next time you die, you don't come back? Is there a certain number of times you're allowed to die? What if this is your last life? Stranger so, you don't quite look the same, but you still have your memories. Try to relax. The thoughts become too much. There's too many possibilities, too many questions. It all makes no sense. As your eyes dart around, looking for anything at all to help make sense of things, you notice something peculiar. For a brief moment, you're distracted. Your curiosity takes over. Something's poking out of the bushes. With a deep breath, you attempt to compose yourself and investigate. As you approach, you realize that it's a pair of boots. How very odd. They look pretty unused as well. You reckon that you could be more nimble in these. Without hesitation, you grab them. The feel of its leather grounds you in reality. It's little things, huh? Lingering on these thoughts will drive you insane. All you can do is put one foot in front of the other and see where all this takes you. You can now craft boots. Okay. Looks like, yeah, it's going to take a little while for me to get more of these. So what else do we have? We do have, bestiary. Permanent bonuses by slaying enemies. Higher tiers of enemies exist in higher stages. So we get bonuses on squirrels. Hopefully we get other abilities at some point. At least I can just, like, whiz sword my way through things and kind of demolish them. And yeah, that little bit of regen is keeping us fairly hale and hearty. So I can kind of just keep cutting through these groups. Okay, so what can I invest into? Boots in that, maybe a little bit more. We gained a couple of levels there. Ooh, this got hairy. But yeah, I want to get my wisdom up so that I can potentially just chuck a sword spin every couple of seconds smoothly. Okay. Does that does 2 damage now. I got something for my trouble. I should keep an eye out. There are random collectibles that I've missed previously. Let's just keep getting that. I should probably go for more wisdom. Oh my god, how many times did I level there? Wait. How did I get up to level 60? Okay, nothing can stop me in my sword swinging now. I don't even know how that happened. Well... There we go. So now this does 44 per swing. I think I broke the game a little bit. Okay, we have a new event available. I should check that. Dreams of Power. You feel as though you've reached a level of mastery that few achieve. It feels invigorating to have pushed yourself to the very edge of your abilities. As you reflect on your journey, a sense of contentment settles within you. As dusk falls, you seek a secure haven for to rest for the night. In your dreams, an eerie voice calls to you. Though the words are unfamiliar, their meaning is clear. The voice reveals that it's been watching you, observing your trials and triumphs from the shadows. It continues, warning that you will require greater power to realize your aspirations. Power beyond your current understanding, power that will elevate you above mere mortals, power that you desperately need. The voice grows louder and more insistent with each repetition. Power that you desperately need, power that you desperately need, power that you desperately need. You awaken, startled and drenched in a cold sweat. Though hours have passed, it feels as though only a few seconds have slipped by. You try to dismiss it as a mere nightmare, but an unsettling sensation lingers, as though unseen eyes are still watching your every move. Dreams of Power 2. Despite your hard-earned strength, you feel as though you've hit an unyielding barrier. The limits of mortal flesh constrain you. Is this a cultivation manga? Your body unable to grow any stronger, faster, or more resilient. The might of your enemies looms ever larger, each battle more grueling than the last. If you continue down this path, defeat feels inevitable. In your frustration, you recall a dream where an otherworldly voice offered you power. The memory haunts you, as fatigue weighs heavily upon your spirit. Seeking solace, you find a tranquil spot to lie down and quickly succumb to the pull of sleep. The voice returns to you in your dreams, speaking its cryptic language, yet every word resonates within you. I've been waiting for this moment, it says, its tone almost reassuring. Tells you it knew you would be back. Now it's ready to bestow upon you an unimaginable power. Power to shatter your limits, power to become unstoppable. The voice intones, to grant you a glimpse of this power. She'll increase the cap of all of your stats by 5, but only if you're willing to receive it. Tell me, do you accept? Shell's playing a horror game in the background and spooked me. The words echo in the confines of your dream, the promise of transcendent strength, hanging in the air as you consider the path ahead. Cautiously accept. The voice cackles, a sound that reverberates through the very fabric of your dream. The contract is sealed, it proclaims with sinister glee. As the words sink in, you feel an ominous presence drawing ever closer, casting an even darker shadow over your soul. You will break your limits further, the voice continues. But know this, the first taste of power is free. From now on, it will cost you a great many coins. Until next time, With a jolt, you abruptly awaken. Your heart pounds as you sit up, eyes scanning the dim surroundings. Doubt gnaws at you. You're not certain if you made the right choice. The sensation of being watched, once a whisper in the back of your mind, now feels like a heavy gaze weighing down on you from all directions. Stat point cap increased, and we can now buy upgrades. Okay. Ditch wisdom. Max strength. What's dexterity? Cooldown reduction, projectile speed. Movement, critical chance. Huh. Oh, I see. I'm just gonna throw this guy on auto for a little bit. Let's see, what else can I do? Stat point caps. Oh, stat overview, max health, regeneration. So how much money do I have? Not much. Okay, this is boring. Back to wisdom. It seems like Man Who Hucks Sword is a more viable build than letting Man Who just stands there, hitting things slowly. Because yeah, if I can breeze these up further. Because yeah, this lets me really rip through them. Otherwise I have to wait for this guy to manually chop his way through things. Hopefully we unlock other classes and abilities at some point. Hey, it seems like we have vaguely enough mana to kind of cope here. Okay, I have another event. Into the open. As it turns out, navigating a forest while fighting off rabid squirrels is a daunting task. Eventually, you find your way through and emerge from the chaos into the woodland area, into the tranquility of open plains and rolling hills. In the distance, you spot a quaint farm village nestled among the greenery. Perhaps it would be best to start there. The world map function has been unlocked. Why am I back to... Okay, I have 100 gems in my inventory. I don't think I have gems. Okay, world map. Gentlewood. Let's see. High stage, 10 out of 50. Area 2, overrun village. Strange creatures prowl its streets. Villagers move in wary silence, casting anxious glances. Fields bear scars of mysterious battles, hinting at unnatural forces looming over the beleaguered place. Oh, there's a pot there. Oh well, whatever. You know, these are not the monsters I was expecting, to be entirely honest with you. Yeah, hopefully there's some way for me to upgrade my sword, or my abilities at some point. Yeah, the overrun village did not really... Oh, I can also stage lock. So if I want to lock at a lower stage and have an easier time. Like find a spot where I'm actually stable, probably. Sad part is I'm not really leveling up here. Where is my experience meter? That's souls. That's currency for other things. Maybe the point is these guys are too easy. Oh, experience is at the bottom. Okay. There we go. Bunch of broccoli. What did these villagers feed their plants? Did they piss off a druid? Did they piss off all of the druids? Okay. This is silly messy. What do we have? Faithful companion. Shrouded figure stumbles into view, his tattered garb soaked crimson with blood. The pain he endures etched deeply into his features. The harvest is turned, he gasps, clutching a wounded arm. I tried to defend the village folk, but the root-born horde is relentless. He looks down and chuckles pitifully. Crops once destined for our tables, now seeking to feast upon us. What a ridiculous irony. Comfort the man. His voice trembles as he collapses to his knees, the weight of despair pressing heavily upon him. We rush to assist him, but he waves his hand dismissively. Please, he murmurs, voice barely more than a whisper. Take care of Ember, my loyal fox, trained to safeguard me. He gestures weakly. And from the bush comes a rusted-furred creature, eyes gleaming with fierce vigilance. Fox pads closer, sniffing the air with a mix of curiosity and caution. But listen well, he continues, his words now a desperate plea. Ember's not a mere beast of the earth. He is a summon, bound by magic and spirit to protect his master. To gain Ember's trust, you must weave a bond anew. Use the souls collected from those you have defeated and weave them into my own. With this I shall perish, but I'm not long for this world regardless. He continues with a faltering sigh. Focus, close your eyes, concentrate. Okay, postpone the event. Leave it for a bit. I need more souls. $10,000. Well, time to just absolutely wreck every vegetable in the area. Whatever jerk gave these things souls. I like the weird leek monsters, especially. I don't know, they're just small and harmless looking. Okay, new events, discoverable events. Are those are like big lettuce. Okay. Hey, do I just let him fight for a bit? I mean, I can. I don't need to be chucking sword constantly. It's gonna take me a while to get the requisite souls. I mean, still 700 per minute, that's pretty good. Okay. See, what else have we found? Because, yeah, I wonder if I'm not getting the correct resources in town. Let's see, I haven't not been leveling up. No, it doesn't look like it. Compared to where we were at, like, we gained 30 levels in almost no time flat, and then we just slowed down. I almost wonder if there's a monster with the wrong experience value. Because, yeah, this is certainly slowed down. Enemies until next stage. Yeah, so we'll just get to the highest possible stage. It'll probably loop around at some point. Oh, we can actually see how far my character can go. There is an upper limit. There's also a hell of a lot of apples. Oh, but these guys are also giving me gems, which I needed. I don't know how many gems we have. This says have 100 tier 1 gems in your inventory. Let's see. What else do we have? We have half of the requisite souls to get the fox. Let's see. God, the experience is glacial. Yeah, what did happen? Must have been exactly one enemy type out there. that sped things along. Or a bonus stage or something. Okay. Wait, what? Pot yields... Oh. Pot yielded 1,000,000 souls. Hold up. Imagine the souls of your enemies coalescing into ember. The man's eyes grow distant, the shadows of death inching closer. His breath quickens, but you maintain your focus, closing your eyes more tightly. Guide him well. With one final shuddering breath, he succumbs to his grievous injuries. In that moment, you feel as if in the presence of friends and family. It's a warm feeling that almost makes you forget the cruelty of the world. Slowly open your eyes and are immediately met with a lifeless body before you. Ember readily stands at your side, prepared to defend you at all costs. Your bond with this arcane ally feels powerful. Feel comforted knowing that you're no longer fighting alone. Hopefully, despite this, you do not succumb to the same fate as his previous master. So we can now do summons, but first, gift of gratitude. Your blade cutting through the foes is almost therapeutic. Their attacks are predictable, allowing you to deal with them all in the same way. But that sudden jolt of noise disrupts your cadence. A window of a nearby house swings open with a loud bang. Instinctively, you jump back, sword at the ready, prepared to vanquish whatever abomination might emerge within the home. "Hey!" yells a voice from the darkness of the window. The head of a child peeks out, eyes wide with a mix of fear and admiration. "Thank you for fighting." His message is as brief as it is unexpected, leaving you momentarily stunned. The fleeting acknowledgement, a simple but genuine expression of gratitude, catches you off guard in a way no enemy ever could. Before you can muster a reply, the boy tosses a weathered helmet your way, or towards your feet. The window slams shut, once more with hurried finality. You must have noticed your distinct lack of headwear, a perilous oversight in your relentless skirmishes. You realize that this is a humble token of thanks, a gesture of protection from those you strive to shield. You hastily don the leathery helmet, feeling its snug embrace encircle your head. With newfound resolve, you grab your blade tighter. A soft smile tugs at your lips. Not merely because of the sturdy headgear now adorning you, but from the warm ember of kindness ignited within. In the midst of strife and battle, the small act of appreciation infuses you with a buoyant spirit. With a reinvigorated heart, you turn back to the ever-looming threat. The path ahead remains fraught with peril, but the kindness of one courageous child fortifies your resolve. As you charge forward, the helmet resting securely on your head, it feels as though you wear a crown bestowed by the very people you are protecting this fateful day. We have a helmet. And we can upgrade it a couple of times at least. Sad part is we just need more stuff for this. I'm gonna have to go back to the forest for the sword. Oh right, I was gonna look at summons. That is inactive. Train powered? So what is insight? Oh, I've been slain. Summon to automatically use your left click ability. Efficacy of the trinket. Summon inflicts a crit, chance to imply bleed. Summon crit chance, summon damage multiplier. Insight. Kind of pricey. There we go. Remember the fox. There's also a slime, owl, hedgehog, twig, sprite, imp, homunculus, and wolf. Summon level 5, summon experience. Okay, pot grants 2 million experience. It really does kind of invalidate the rest of this game. Okay, so what do we do now? Yeah, because I can't do intelligence or spirit. Max health regen, cooldown reduction, projectile speed, damage over time. Okay, so I only actually got a couple of things off of that. Yeah, so I really got to just keep an eye out for... Let's see, I really got to just keep an eye out for as many pots as I possibly can. So what we might want to do is actually give this guy a bunch of movement speed just so he can race around the map. Yeah, how do I even see what's in my inventory? Oh, inventory, equipment, materials. Yeah, how do I see how many gems that I have? Because I swear some of these have been dropping gems. Not sure. Yeah, unfortunately, while modifying things in the UI, that's when I get... Oh, reward multiplier while catching up. Oh, interesting. Reward multiplier goes up for every 10 stages we clear. So, getting back through some of these stages doesn't actually put me back that hard. Hopefully we get, like, homing magic, or some kind of alternative abilities at a later date. I'm liking the sword swing, it's very strong. And I can certainly mulch things at, like, an excessive speed. Okay, that was just a bunch of hide leather, which I think we did need. Or not? Maybe it was a different type. It's very easy for me to get overwhelmed if I'm not using the sword strike. Luckily, that doesn't matter too much. Okay. Yeah. We'll hit level 79 at some point. Or at level 80 at some point. This is just so much slower. I got spoiled by those pots. And yeah, I don't think I can upgrade my stats, because yeah, each of these has a massive cost. Let's see. Anything else? Not overwhelmingly. Oh god. These are probably what killed me last time. That's a hell of a lot of really jacked up looking potatoes. Thing is, the potatoes cannot outscale my absurd sword swings. Well, okay, they do. They are quite tanky. Yeah, I am taking some damage here. Come on. What I really want is another pot. One with another couple million experience just sitting around, right? Oh, we have another event. I should probably do that. Mysterious stranger. In the midst of the pandemonium, a distinct jingling noise pierces the cacophony. You turn to face the source of the sound. A towering figure slowly saunters over to you, his footsteps resonating with unwavering confidence, his imposing frame casting a profound shadow over the battlefield. All around you, the once ferocious, root-born assailants shrink back in palpable fear. You're rooted to the spot, paralyzed by an instinctual terror. Fight or flight surges through your veins. But something about the man causes your legs to betray you, rendering you immobile. Your arms suddenly leaden, unable to grasp your sword any longer. "Hello, my friend," the man speaks, his voice an uncanny blend of deep bravado and ghostly whispers. Slowly, you lift your gaze. Must be at least 8 feet tall. Clad entirely in black, his face obscured, his eyes hidden beneath the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat. "Couldn't help but notice you could use my wares," he says, nodding knowingly. Extending his right arm to the side, a brown leathery band wrapped around his wrist stands in stark contrast to his otherwise umbrella attire. "For some coin, this leather armband could be yours. 3,000 is fine." 3,000? Fortune for such a small trinket. Yet, sense of prudence grips you. Haggling seems like it would be a mistake. You accept the deal, or do not. It's that simple. Well, We just don't have the money. Not like potatoes are running around with a whole lot of cash. Okay. Now where are we at? Back to the carrots, I suppose. At the event. New... Well, oh, carrot 2s do drop 12 coins at least. So who knows? I mean, we'll get there. It's still gonna take a while. Or we get really lucky and find another, like, pot or something with a couple million gold just sitting in it. Yeah, because I'd kind of been bad about getting the pots previously. Thinking they weren't amazingly valuable. That was foolish of me. I'm also not entirely sure if I agree with them being this valuable. But whatever. Yeah, main goal, have 100 gem tier 1s in your inventory. I wonder if we're not collecting them, because at this point I should... Maybe? Oh, gem tier 1. Oh, is that one? No, we just have 77. So I guess the real answer is didn't have enough. Bag had bone. Yeah, so I guess maybe the real answer is I just need to avoid buying any further equipment for a little while. I don't know, something about this game is making me sleepy. I think it's because it's one of those idle games that is meant to be played idle, but I'm playing it actively, but it's not the most, like, immediately grabbing me. And so I'm feeling a little slow. At least currently nothing can kind of stand up against me. Oh, that's a bunch of them. Vase had... or pot. Had 1.2 million experience, so that's a couple levels worth. Unfortunately, I'm kind of damage capped for at least a little while. There's another one. Had even more experience. A bunch of bones. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably just get my vitality up. Because if I can get something like a bow, that might change some things on what I want to invest into. But currently my character has to spend a lot of time traversing the environment. Let's see. I guess investing into some movement speed isn't the worst idea either. I don't entirely know what I give up for it. I think it'll just be the next stat I invest into. Because having a high vitality means I don't just get wombo comboed while I'm alt-tabbed for a hot second. Visions of the past. As you traverse the woodlands, you notice the material you've been gathering has begun to emit a mystical glow. Seizing a moment of respite, you examine your collection and realize it's the gems you've been collecting that are shimmering with arcane light. Entranced, you shakily reach out to grasp one and are instantly inundated with a torrent of faint memories of a long-lost soul. The faded visions last only for a moment, but it's enough to knock you off your feet. For the most part, you're unable to make sense of what you saw. But a newfound knowledge lingers. You hastily piece together what you've learned before you forget, and have created a magical staff. And dangerous delves. A distraught villager, her eyes wide with a mixture of awe and relief, approaches after witnessing your powers against the vegetative monstrosities that plague the settlement. She tells you of a peculiar cave where streams run silver, a taint that has gradually crept into the flora. These corrupted plants have been releasing malevolent spores, inciting feral rage into the creatures and woodland beasts, while mysteriously sparing humankind, or at least that's the current theory. With a heavy heart and rising desperation in her voice, she explains that she wishes to uncover the enigma behind this maddening transformation, but venturing into the caves alone poses a peril too great for her. The villager beseeches you to delve into the forbidding depths, defeat the hostile rat folk dwelling within, and help unveil the source of the silvered waters and their sinister influence. You agree to clear out the cave of rat folk. You're determined and evident. To your surprise, the villager presents you with a sturdy chainmail and formidable morning star, her eyes reflecting both gratitude and concern. Explain that these were crafted by the local blacksmiths, given as token of their appreciation and a means to bolster your chances. With the solemn hope that these tools will aid your perilous quest, they bid you farewell. Okay, we're gonna press on. Thing is, we don't want to. I'm not gonna leave until we hit a wall here. Okay, so let's do equipment, damage crit multiplier, or mana regen. Oh, so we actually just get all of these. I think we're just using all of these. At least if we're not, I have no idea how to change my equipment at all. Did this zoom out? It feels like it zoomed out, but I could be wrong. How am I doing financially? I'm getting there. Okay. And then it's just that one event that I can't do yet. Okay, main goal, none, check our events tab. Yeah, I think we're getting kind of close to the end of the available content in this version of the game. I'm liking it. I think my one beef is that the leveling feels kind of slow, but I also understand why it is so slow. Maybe I'm also spoiled by the... let's see. By the, just silly amounts of experience that I get from the pots. Okay. And so everything else feels glacial in comparison. But no matter how many enemies I kill, it's better that I just find a random vase sitting out in the wilderness that makes me extra powerful. That was the next phase. Got it. Yeah, like I said, it's a little bit sleepy. Just sitting here and semi-idling my way through this. I could let the character just do it on his own, but he'd probably get wrecked. We're having functionally no problems deleting things just by right-clicking them repeatedly. And my health regen's looking fine. Let's see, and some of them drop 18 coins. Like, the money is getting better. Okay. Pot. Pot had a whole mess of souls. I'm just gonna keep investing in that. Summon level. Experience per second while they're active. Bonus damage equal to their summon levels. Base damage mana cost. Seems like it does it automatically. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let this character run around for a while. Wow. Oh, the bot gave souls. Sorry. I was like, wow, that bot didn't even give me a single level. I was like, of course it didn't. That wasn't that kind of bot. Are these broccoli and watermelon 3s? Yeah. So there's 50 levels or 50 stages per region. I'm assuming it's one of those where we just get well, they're not even recolors, they're just broccoli 1, 2, and 3. I wish they were a little bit more active at trying to hunt me down. It would make my sword chucking abilities that much more effective. I don't know why it was still flashing. Okay, area 2. Oh, so we get summon critical chance every time we kill certain stages of these things. So I'll have to look into that. I don't know why it's flashing though. Unless it was an achievement? No. Oh, objectives. Hiking trip. So we get cloth shoes. I see. That's why we want to stick around. Because yeah, there's gear and equipment that we can get. What do cloth shoes give us? Cloth shoes, defense, and a little bit of movement speed. But I need like an unholy amount of wood to actually do anything meaningful with those cloth shoes. Let's see. Oh, I have enough. A fine decision, he proclaims mockingly, extending his colossal hands. You painstakingly count out the required amount of money. You notice that he has no trouble holding all 3,000 coins in both hands. Hands which are easily twice the size of yours, cradling the wealth as if it were a mere handful of pebbles. The final coin delivered, he nods solemnly, and in a gesture that defies understanding, snaps his hand shut. The coins vanish into nothingness. In the same instant, the satchel hanging from his waist swells noticeably, resonating with a familiar jingling tune. Man tips his hat in a silent farewell, turning away to meld into the shadows, his cloak billowing like smoke. He saunters off, turning a corner and vanishing from your sight. As the haunting jingles of his mysterious presence fades, you feel an invisible tether break. Your limbs regain their natural vigor, no longer weighed down by unseen forces. It is as if, sensing the end of your momentary paralysis, the surrounding space grows teeming with renewed ferocious adversaries. Your heart races. You quickly reclaim your blade from the ground and notice something peculiar. You're wearing the leather armband. The ravenous vegetation is closing in. You have no time to dwell on this enigma. So we can now get that. Okay, so there is 2 discoverable events. Presumably by just running around and sticking around in this environment for a while. So what does the leather armband get us? Max health and defense. I got a fuzzy. Okay, now what? I mean, do we leave? Sure, let's go to a new area. So discoverable events 5. Yeah, this is certainly tougher. At least the rat picks drop a decent chunk of money. I don't know. I think I might just let my character cycle this for a little while, and then we'll pick it back up again in a little while. Just because. So in that case, let's get rid of my wisdom. Let's see, dexterity's cooldown reduction. Move speed, crit chance. Because yeah, I still can't do intelligence and spirit. Okay, and that was 3 million souls. Well, that's a lot. Seems like we're gonna be dying a bunch here, but that's okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna let this run for a bit. We'll see what it gets me. Okay, so I left this game running for a couple of hours, and I guess now I'm not overpowered, really. I guess we did get a bunch of equipment, so my chainmail can go up a little bit. What else do we have? I maxed out at least a handful of the items, so the broken, yeah, +9 seems to be the maximum for every bit of equipment. So the broken blade is up to damage 10, crit chance 5%, damage multiplier 0.3. Interestingly enough, it looks like we are wearing all of these things at once. We have a leather tunic on, a cloth cloak, and chainmail. We also are wearing a leather helmet with a cloth cap on top and 2 different pairs of shoes. Our character, by the end of this, is going to look like one of those people from a t-shirt contest where you just keep stacking more t-shirts until you look insane. Anyway, I think we need to go to the rat's nest. Because I don't think I have many stat points to invest. We can increase our stat caps. Like, that is an option. Oh boy, that gets pricey. Well, let's just boost all of our stat cap. Whoa, okay, don't do that twice. I guess I already increased my int stat cap, but I don't think I can actually do that. Boost those 2. I guess I'll do wisdom since I sometimes go for a wisdom build. So we want to keep 5 wisdom. Agility is not helping that much. The crit chance is nice, but the movement speed is meaningless. My character barely moves. So let's ditch that in favor of more strength and vitality. So more damage per strike, and then also max health regen, and health regen multiplier. So next up we have an event, Dreams of Power 3. Facing the Never-Ending Horde has been exhausting. Path you walk is exhausting. You're not even sure why you're still in this place. A small part of you hopes there's an end to the Horde, but somehow the enemies seem to only grow more numerous and stronger over time. After managing to clear a small area of rabid squirrels, you find a secluded spot to rest. The exhaustion pulls you into a deep sleep almost immediately. In your dreams, the familiar shadowy presence manifests, a figure without form or face, yet intensely powerful. Its voice, ancient and timeless, reverberates in your mind. You're not surprised. Somehow you were expecting this encounter. It imparts wisdom. Raw strength alone won't be enough to stand against the world's most formidable adversaries. Your fabled fox, ever loyal, must transcend its own bounds. The ethereal guide, its eagerness palpable yet unsettling, insists upon bestowing new powers. There's no consent needed, it is done. It cackles knowingly before adhering an aura of abrupt seriousness, declaring that your usefulness feeds an insatiable void. This dark force, it explains, has been held at bay by the material wealth you spend in exchange for breaking your limits. But this is no longer sufficient, the void craves more. To truly face what lies ahead, it demands more material sacrifices, alongside even greater sums of glitter and gold. As before, this will not go unrewarded. Such costs paid will elevate your summon and breach the limits of the mundane and awaken untold powers. Items of cloth, hide, bone, and more will also be required, and in great quantity. Abruptly, the dream ends. You awaken unexpectedly rejuvenated. The foreboding knowledge lingers, offering more questions than answers. You still aren't sure who or what body this voice belongs to. What is the void? Why does it need to be satiated? This recurring experience has become frustrating, but it is your hope that it'll make sense in time. You can now upgrade your summon stat cap and rate in which they gain experience. Oh, the summon experience gain rate actually is kind of nice. Where do I do that? Yeah, summon level, trinket color of cunning. I don't have any other trinkets. I don't think I have any other abilities. Train power costs. Oh, upgrade summons. Here we go. Ember the Fox. Let's see. Acuity cap, but we don't need that too much. Camera to follow summon. Oh. Experience gain per second. There we go. There's a lot of UI on this, and it gets a bit dense. So I could stay on this stage for a while, but that would be boring. So I think we want a world map to Rat's Nest. Now we should have no trouble clearing this, as we are grossly overpowered in comparison to where we were at previously. Still could be stronger, but at least these guys aren't going to be able to do much damage to me, as I have 937 HP, and that seems pretty dang good. And my damage is way higher now too. And my mana regen is pretty good, so I don't even need like excessive amounts of wisdom to be able to sustain myself. At least not currently. Maybe if they're more expensive spells, but we gotta get up to stage 3 in this zone before we get access to that. Damn, there's a lot of enemies here. Okay. What else do we do? Music's really good in this area. I like it a lot. I guess I could zoom in so I can actually see what my character is doing. Looks like he's mostly just dunking on weird mice men. Which is interesting. So what is this? Complete an event, Area 3 Rat's Nest, Area 3 Rat's Nest. So we actually have 2 different locations we can go to. Including Ascensions, which might actually be the prestige mode for this game. Which will be quite nice. I also have a ton of souls, so I should probably invest into this thing. So, chance to automatically cast your left click, damage multiplier, or summon crit chance and movement speed. I mean, all of these are expensive, except for insight. Oh, I can't afford it anymore. What does Acuity do? Oh, it's summon trinket stats. That's fair enough. Oh, they actually have ranged attacks now. I don't think that's really much of a problem for me, but it is interesting that we actually do have to worry about that a little bit. Oh, and we're already up to stage 5. So, lesson in magic, you encounter rat folk that wield unusual powers. Cut down many rat folk, but some wield unusual powers, conjuring damaging projectiles from afar. The villager you spoke with earlier explains that many rat folk are adept practitioners of magic. To you, magic has always been a fairy tale, something unreal, yet their abilities defy any other explanation. These mages, casting powerful spells from a distance, leverage their skills to compensate for their diminutive size, enabling them to conquer various territories, including this cave, she explains. Surprisingly, she casually mentions that she can also wield magic, stating that learning the basics is quite easy. The true challenge lies in effectively using it. Your initial disbelief is clear, prompting her to express amazement at your martial powers, wondering how you've come this far without any magical knowledge. She offers to teach you the basics, confident in your ability to cast spells. Encouraged by her words, you decide to give it a try. After mere hours of practice, you find yourself grasping the fundamentals of magic. Though it feels deceptively simple, you recall her words. Learning it is easy, actually using it is difficult. Handing you a spellbook, the villager assures you that this will guide you further. You only need read its pages. To both your surprise and hers, you successfully cast your first spell with relative ease. Could this newfound ability be connected to the other strange events in your life recently? Regardless, you are awed by your rapid progress. Within a short time span, it feels as though you've unlocked a new world of possibilities. You eagerly anticipate testing this newfound power against your foes. Skills button has been unlocked, and Mysterious Stranger 2. The stifling darkness of the cave, the echo of jingling coins reverberates off the walls, growing louder as it approaches. Emerging from the inky shadows, a figure cloaked in darkness approaches with an almost ghostly grace. Its towering and formidable presence is unmistakable. This is the man you encountered before. As he moves closer, the silhouette of a lifeless body slung over his shoulders becomes clear. With dismissive motion, he drops the corpse at your feet and points a bony finger towards it. This soul met its end under mysterious circumstances, he says, a devilish grin spreading across his face. However, there's something upon him you might find quite useful. Your eyes drift down to the fallen figure, noting the tattered remnants of armor that have seen better days. Among the worn gear, a grimy metal helm catches your eye. Let's discuss payment, the shadowy figure continues, lowering his arm to his side. I'm asking for 80,000 gold coins. I know you've been quite fortunate in my absence, amassing a significant amount of coin. This you can afford. Sure. Your eyes drift down to the fallen figure. Oh, I guess I cannot afford. I'm like halfway there. I don't know how much money I'm making from these guys, though. An amount. Okay. Well, let's take a look at skills. What do we have? Skill, Curious Wisp. 2 projectiles from yourself extend outwards, orbiting for 5 seconds. Damage enemies around you in 1 second intervals for 3 seconds. Great Divider. Okay, so this scales off of int. Let's see. So we have Great Divider, projectile towards a random enemy for 2 seconds. Bleed chance, and then longer that, or 4 projectiles towards the nearest enemies that bounces a random enemy. Bleed chance, and... I mean, it looks like it can have all of them. No, we're just auto-using them. So we are. Well, I do appreciate the skill system. So does that mean I have access to int finally? No, I do not. They are currently locked off. Okay, so it looks like it can also change level. Passive skills grow stronger as they're used. The higher your passive skill, the more experience gained. The higher the skill level of the strongest skill, the more costly. You can adjust the slider to reduce it. Okay. Colorless glyph. Can have 4 passives at a time. Yeah, I'm not actually sure if this one's triggering. It must be. It has passive skill mastery. Yeah, unfortunately that 80,000 gold I think is a little bit beyond me. I was really hoping I'd be able to get the ascension levels, because I'm quite curious about how ascensions work in this. But maybe they currently don't? That's a lot of enemies. We're still tanking it, no problem, but that is a lot of enemies. Alright, let's remember to break those. Oh, well, now we have 400,000 gold. It's this guy again, but this time I'm extremely wealthy. With a heavy heart, you reach into your satchel and retrieve the required payment, but as your fingers close around the bag of gold, it suddenly feels much lighter. No need, the figure declares, an eerie smile creeping across his face. The transaction is complete. He tips his hat, turns, and blends seamlessly back into the cavernous darkness, sound of jingling gradually fading into the distance. Dropping your gaze back to the ground, you find the corpse has vanished without a trace. All that remains is the metal helm. Kneeling beside it, you brush away the grime and dirt. Though morbid, you acknowledge that this helm will be an invaluable asset in your quest. A grim yet essential artifact. We can now helmet. Yeah, looks like, I don't know what else to do. I think I'm just going to save my money, because I have no, like, practical benefit. At least at the moment. Yeah, we're going to have just a whole mess of these guys kind of coming at me. Let me take a look at some of these. So, the one thing I could consider is investing into dexterity. Maybe. Purely because cooldown reduction, like 40% cooldown reduction actually would be useful for a lot of the passive abilities, but I was kind of hoping that Ascensions would do it. Yeah, completing an event in Area 3. Oh, 500 gems tier 2 in my inventory. That's the limitation. And it seems like we're mostly getting the basic tier 1. Every time we reach a threshold of 10, restarting increases my boost until we catch back up again. Both in terms of experience gain and also drop rates. So we're going to want to loop through this area a couple of times to get what I'm looking for. Let me take a look at my materials. So we're looking for gem tier 2. I'm going to need 500 of those. That's going to be a little tricky. I mean, not that bad, but it is going to take a little while. At least, not in a way that I'm going to be super keen on commentating over. This very much is like an idle game of idle games. Very Incremental, but in a good way. I don't know. It's interesting the differences between all of the various, incremental games. Beyond Mortal Limits, so this might be it. You find a tight passageway hidden behind a waterfall. With a sense of adventure, you decide to investigate and are quickly met with blinding daylight. This is another exit out of the cave. Seen before you is striking, a shimmering coastline, palm trees, crisp air, and cliffsides of green. This is paradise. Off in the distance, you spot an arrangement of stones, candles, and dark-robed figures standing in a circle. Moments later, you hear a voice behind you. Do not go over there, warrior. They are cultists of the void. Quickly turn around, your gaze met with a lumbering robed figure, this one wearing red. They explain that the void is an entity that attempts to consume the world once every 10,000 years. The unusual and supernatural often come with it. Somehow the man knows about your situation despite seemingly having never met you. I know of your gift, and we must unite the 7 chosen warriors to defeat the void. You are one of them, hence your unnatural strength and ability to never truly die. As you begin to ask what they're talking about, you have a sudden realization. You actually know what they're referring to. Somehow you already understand, as if you possess knowledge that is not your own. The road ahead is very difficult. I can help you ascend. I can help you grow stronger, but at a cost. Please seek me out when you're ready. So Peridot Coast is available, and we now have the Ascension button. I don't actually know if I can go here. Yeah, full version only. Okay. Do I upgrade the Morning Star? The only immediate problem is that is going to cancel that one quest. Because, yeah, 500 gem tier 2 in my inventory is a little tough. What about Ascension? Okay, you lose levels and stat points, summon stat points, materials, coins, souls, passive skill levels, mastery is capped, high stage completed. If you've not cleared stage 50 in an area. You keep all unlocks, all events, all equipment and equipment upgrades, passive skill mastery, summon levels and experience gain upgrades, all forms of stat cap increases, bestiary medals, objective progress, and completion. Highest stage completed if you've cleared 50 in that area. And I gain 8 ascension points from 800,000 tier... Or, is it? Yeah, 800,000 tier 1 materials. And then tier 2 materials can convert down. Once ascended, you start over, keeping and losing progress shown above. Able to gain permanent upgrades in the ascension tree. You will be able to choose a different character if you have any unlocked. You cannot undo this. Let's go back. Oh, let's view the ascension tree. So, bestiary lock. Passive skill gain experience. Skill experience. Starting skill damage, damage. Oh, I see. The rest are locked and available in the full version of the game. So it seems like it's mostly just damage and some health regen up this direction. So, worth it, but I might actually want to try and get up to stage 50 in some of these levels before I actually ascend. Either way, I think that's the kind of thing that I'm actually going to leave for the full version of the game, just because I want more options. And also, there's no sense in over grinding something that is potentially going to get wiped when the game actually comes out. Maybe it won't, but I will probably start over all the same. But yeah, I'm going to compare this kind of to Incremental. It works very much in similar logic, and I actually rather like it. I like the storytelling elements, even if it is a very, how would I say it? It's very Royal Roady, but in a perfectly fine manner. I like the different gear and customization options. I do feel like maybe it's a little bit repetitive in certain ways, mostly owing to the fact that, like... Oh, I did actually die here. Oh, that's fun. So I might have to even ascend. I might not be able to clear this zone. It does seem like I'm getting a lot more resources here at least, which is good. But my character's blonde, that's new. I didn't know they would go blonde. I like those bouncing knives. I will have to play around with a lot of these things. And it seems like the skills are getting better too. But yeah, lots of layers of progression systems. I like the Ascension tree. Different playable characters sounds fun. I think the only thing I wish is that the gear system wasn't actually just another incremental system, that it was instead based on like, hey, here's just a bunch of random items you found, what are you wearing, kind of Diablo style. Mostly just because there's zero agency. With the current gear and equipment system, it is purely just like a meta wall of like, oh, I've invested X amount of levels into my sword, I do more damage. But I also get to wield the Morning Star and the stave. And like, it would actually be kind of neat. Maybe. I think I would find it compelling if you actually had like some choices in terms of what you were wearing. Kind of like how in Loop Hero, determining what gear and equipment you're wearing really does kind of determine your build and how you're playing through it. Though the gear system in that was kind of basic, so I guess probably better to just be like, yeah, Diablo or Path of Exile and whatnot. I don't think this necessarily needs it. It very much does seem to be just like your standard fun little idle RPG. And having that level of like interactivity could actually become a drag, because how quick are you going to be replacing your equipment to begin with? And I could see that actually taking a lot of time and effort in a way that people might not want to invest. Oh, right, I was going to check. How many gems do I have? 121, so it's going to take a while. I mean, we're getting, like, a fair bit of resources. Oh, wait, we're already up to stage 14? Huh. I guess it really does go faster. It seems like we're still getting a lot of tier 2 hides more than the crystals that I really need on this one. And that's fine. Let's see. But yeah, what else is there even to say? I don't know. I'd probably go back and also reach level 50 in both the village and the forest. I think I got up to level... I got up to level 49 in the forest, and then I got killed, and I haven't been back because it's kind of time-consuming. And then also the 500 gems, tier 2 in inventory. Like, even if it's a little slow, we're getting there. I just have to probably leave the game idling in this zone for a time, and I get what I need. But, what was I going to say with this? I don't know, too much, not too much. I think it's a very solid experience, and it's fun seeing Foxnox take all of their experience from their past 2 games. At least past 2 games. I don't know if they made things before Nomad Idle. Or not Nomad Idle, Nomad Survivors? Nomad Survival. I legitimately have no idea. But it's neat seeing them take that kind of experience and bring it over into this one. And also, I don't know, I love incremental games. I do prefer the more active ones, but I also should never focus, or should never expect to be catered to in that respect. I think the main reason why I was bringing up the gear and equipment system is that incremental games thrive off of agency. I think a lot of games do, but I think incremental games, the best ones, have a lot of agency in what your build is. And like currently we have the stat points. I like that. There is the talent tree, or the ascension tree. I think that'll be good. There's also what skills you're bringing with and equipping and using. Like, I think that's going to be pretty solid. But I would love to see more agency show up as part of the gear system. Even if it was one of those where, like, every X number of levels per gear and equipment, you get, like, a B, or C option. Overclocks in Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is a good example. I think I'd actually brought this up in Nomad Survival as well, just in terms of, like, wanting just a little bit more agency over what my build is. And, you know, just have that wipe every time you do an ascension. So if you picked the wrong weird talent choice or unique perk, you could even have them be somewhat randomly generated too. Like, it doesn't even have to be static. So it's like, you know, oh, my Morningstar perks got reset. Oh, wait, but gear and equipment is static from one playthrough to the next. I don't know. I don't think it's particularly necessary. It's just something to think about in terms of gameplay, because this is absolutely the kind of game that I would enjoy loading up to, poke at my build for a little bit, see what's... oh, we get a brown beret. Load it up, poke at my build for a bit, and then let it go back to being idle again. I guess Journey to Incremental might be worth looking at just in terms of what I mean, because that game was all player agency and expression, and it felt really good. But for like a mostly full idle experience, I mean, admittedly, using the sword swing is huge. I really can chew through things a lot faster than even my character can. Though the passive skills are very quickly going to catch back up to me. How the hell did we get up to stage 12 that fast? Maybe there's a shortcut or something, I have no idea. Anyway, I guess with all that said, if you guys want to try out the Nomad Idle playtest yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. All you have to do is just request access to the playtest, and I think you just get access instantly. I didn't have to wait. And then the actual game will be out, I think, sometime next year, which is a fine amount of time to wait. But Foxnox has been working on this constantly and really rapidly, too. Like, this game has improved by leaps and bounds from what I've seen over the last couple of months, and I can only imagine it's going to get better. But your feedback is probably going to be quite useful. So give it a shot yourselves, go through the Ascension levels, mess around, maybe unlock other characters. I don't even know if they're in the game yet. Yeah, give it a shot and help it develop. But for now, at least, I guess if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, it helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe, because I got tons to check out and show off. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.